Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this Tuesday morning. It was chilly yesterday morning. It's chilly this morning. I know about y'all had frost on the windshield. And when you don't have any wind in the air, that's really what happens. A little bit of moisture, it just frosted up. And we can't put two cars in the garage now because I've got all the leftover Christmas decorations in there. And also, it's been rough about 4:30 every morning. So anyway, glad you're with us this morning. And we're going to talk about our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin Road and Highway 77. I was driving in this morning thinking about what great opportunities that young people can have, and no matter what age you are, about going to Haney. And it's really neat. I have a video later on. That's what made me think about it. A video later on in the show talking about that welding class over there. I wanted to visit with those folks. But anyway, today's high is not going to get out of 60s. It looks like 68. Tonight's low 40. And the water temperature now dropped down to 62 degrees. So we're getting that winter chill on it for sure. All right, now let's take a look at our river readings. The Apalachicola, what we call, the locals always call the Big River. The Big River dropped down to 8.9. You notice last week it really went up there, but had a rapid drop off this past day or two. So right now it's at a 7.9. Now the Choctahatchee at Caryville, it did the same thing, but now it's on the rise. Just the opposite of the Apalachicola River. It's at a 6.8 at Caryville. It's going to peak out tomorrow at 7 o'clock at about 7.7 foot. So then it'll start dropping out the next couple of days. All right, now that's our freshwater picture. Take a look at our tide chart, always brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Good folks over there. Their motto is when caring counts. We're looking at Tuesday, December the 17th, and we're looking at a really a good tide. Let's see, it's going to be good all week, matter of fact. I'm looking at the time. The low tide was this morning at 6:56, and the high tide is at 8:35, but looking all the way on into this week. Now next week, on Christmas week, we're not going to have very much tide, but I know a lot of us be tied up doing families and all, but a really good tidal flow this week and going on into the weekend on our Panhandle tides all around. Marine forecast, believe it or not, almost every day I'm saying north, northeast or something, at 10 to 20. They're calling today for just light and variable wind, so it's going to be a pretty day, looks like. So we'll take our break and we'll be right back. Welcome back on this chilly December winter morning. So we'll get started with some pictures, and we don't have a whole lot of pictures. We have some good quality pictures. So, the winter sunsets has been awesome. There was a beautiful winter sunset Sunday afternoon, and here's another one right here over the pier. It's just a beautiful sunset here. Take a look at this right here. Tom Gurley took this picture. It's a beautiful sunset right there. So let's go in now. Our next picture. We just want to take a shout out and good morning to all the folks down at Seaquarters Marine. I know y'all was sitting around there talking to Millard and telling stories and having a warm cup of coffee. So all the folks down at Seaquarters, and if you get a chance, folks, run by and check them out during Christmas break and all. Good folks down there. Here's just a pretty picture here. This next picture here, these are just flies. Bill Laminack tied these, and when I first saw them, I said, just what a great picture of itself, just the color and all, but these are winter flies for redfish and for trout. And a lot of people don't realize that you can go fly fishing in the wintertime and have good luck. So that's a good job in colorful flies there, Bill. All right, now this one of these pictures is not local. Now 99% of my pictures are local, but this just struck me. This is a school of redfish, talking about redfish in the other picture, and the flies. Now, I imagine you could go fly fishing with this, but it would probably rip the flies out of your hand. But this is a school of redfish schooling, and I just thought this was awesome to get tied up in something like that. Can you imagine throwing a big old topwater, and you might hook 2 or 3 of them there, but that's just a great picture. But that's not here local, okay? We'll go back to local pictures. Here's the one about Pam Peterson Kelly out here at the State Park. Great picture of a heron there. Good job, Pam. All right, next picture. Now listen, Shell Island, if you've got to go to Shell Island, Crooked Island, Redfish Point, they're having a public meeting on what they call it, a Tyndall Waterway Restriction Proposal. And what they're trying to do now, restrict the public access and they're going to call it temporary access restrictions, but well, you know, when they said temporary, it's going to end up being permanent. But anyway, this meeting is going to be Thursday night, December 19th at the Gulf Coast State College at Sargent Hall. And they're trying to they've drafted regulations, and before they can put them into place, they have to have public input. Now, folks, I want to encourage you to go there. Boaters, not just fishermen and all, boaters, recreationists, anyone that wants to keep access to these places. And you're talking about Redfish Point, you're talking about all kind of places. You're talking about Crooked Island Sound, parts of Shell Island, Redfish Point, all that area on the East Bay that borders Tyndall. They're trying to put, what they're trying to do is put buffer zones like 500 feet out into the water. When you get 500 feet out, you're out of the grass flat, so that just completely wipes out the fishing. And I hope a lot of y'all show up. I'm certainly going to try to be there Thursday night, and we're going to just see what we can do to just let them know that we as citizens here in Bay County and Panhandle, we've always used Tyndall. And I can understand if we were, in a war or something, how important that would be to shut it down. But we're not at that point right now. So let's go ahead and have some input. All right, our next picture. Move on to some other pictures, okay? Folks, duck season. Brett, I cut Brett's head off. That's Brett's shoemate. It's been a banner year for ducks. This right here, this is Brett and some of those boys that I know that went duck hunting. They caught. Listen, I'm getting my fish and hunting mixed up. They actually, in five men went out Sunday afternoon, and in 15 minutes they got their limits of redheads. Good job there. It's just been a banner year. Let's go from duck hunting to dove hunting. This is one of Mandy Miller's dove shoots again. All right, here's Astra Carter, dove shoot. This is the first time she ever went a dove shoot. She got one dove, but she was just tickled as she could be over there at Mike Miller's place. Thank you, Megan, for sending that picture. Now, talking about guns and all and waterfowl hunting, I started seeing this picture last night. I started thinking about how much fun it is just to what we call wing shooting. And I decided to put together some tips to look up Ducks Unlimited and found some different tips on shooting with a shotgun and all wing shooting. So I've got them down here, so I'm going to go through one at a time. These are 8 tips on making yourself a better shooter. Okay, number 1, shotgun fits. Okay, what we mean about that is shotgun, does it fit your shoulder here and up against your cheek, and is it comfortable? If not, you want to make sure it's comfortable. That's the first thing when you go wing shooting. I've been wing shooting since I was a kid. It's just some of the best shooting there is. It could be quail, dove, or duck. Now, dove and duck are a lot alike when they're moving and all. All right, number 2, let's go to number 2. Pre-season practice. In anything you do, archery or especially wing shooting, you want to get out there and get some clays and get them up in the air and just shoot and practice, going different angles and all. And that's very important. And right now, this time of year, it's too late for pre-season practice, but keep that in mind for next year. Okay? Now, number 3, and this is one of the biggest mistakes of we all, don't get in a hurry. You got 3 or 4 ducks coming in there and you want to shoot all 3 or 4 of them. You can't get in a hurry. I learned this in the dove fields of Gaston County. You just cannot get in a hurry shooting birds. You just got to take a deep breath and just, here they come, relax, here they come, okay? And then you shoot them, but don't go bang, 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 bang. And you see young people when they get out in the fields or on a boat, they just are blazing away. All right, number 4, shoot one bird at a time, okay? And again, we'll see a wad of them coming in. A lot of times, especially on ducks, they're coming in 3 or 4 times. They're getting ready to come in and land, and you go boom, 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 boom. You got to pick out one bird, folks. You pick out that one bird, and you zero in on it, and you take care of that bird, and then you look for the next one. You take that second one out. But don't shoot at a wad of them right there. All right, that's tip number 4. Let's go to tip number 5. Now, this is hard to do, too. Again, you really and truly, if you're really experienced now, if you're at that upper level, or you're just an experienced hunter, you will be shooting that trailing bird. If 4 birds are coming in, like 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to shoot number 4 first. If they're coming in there to roost and all, you're going to shoot number 4 first because those other 3 then will scatter. But if you shoot that first one, those others are going to be maybe out of range and all, but you hit that trailing one coming in there. All right, let's go to number 6. Tip on number 6. Just rely on the instinct to calculate the lead. And I talk about this in class at times. And the best example I can give you, if somebody's rolling a tire and you're throwing a rock through a rolling tire, there's not really any scientific formula how you can do it. So you want to throw that rock right through the tire and just estimate the speed of it the same way you estimate the speed of those birds. And it's just instinct and practice on that, okay? Now, and the last one, or next to last one, don't stop swinging. In other words, just keep swinging with your gun. Once you shoot, don't just drop your gun. Just shoot and just keep swinging. That's just a great habit to be in. Always keep swinging that gun, and you'll notice good shooters are really smooth on the swing. Okay. And number 8, and this is the last one. On the long shots, you want to just lead more. Just take a long lead on your long shots. Okay. Those are 8 shooting tips for wing shooters. All right. We're going to take our break and we'll be right back. Hi folks, I'm at Panhandle Technical Center. We're talking about a welding program a lot. Look at all the rooms they have in here. I'm just walking in the door. Look at all the projects they have going. Come down here and see Mike Heppenstall and Eric Johnson. There's Eric.
Hey.
There's Mike over there. Hey guys.
Hey, Wilson, how you doing?
Good, Eric. How you doing, buddy?
All right.
Good to see you.
Been a while.
It had been a while. What have you been up to?
Just teaching welding.
Teaching
and
welding.
not diving enough.
Did you have a good diving summer?
No, it's the worst I've ever had.
Really? What happened?
Well, just seas were so rough and the rain, the storms.
Yeah.
Normally I make about 200 dives a year. I did about 30 this year.
Oh my goodness. Well, tell us what's going on, Mike.
Well, we are in the process of, we just purchased a new virtual welder, 3D virtual welder, and what that will do is help us in the training of students and new students, and also for recruiting purposes. And it's safe, there's no fumes, no sparks, and plus it's a tool that we can teach students the muscle memory of doing the arcs and holding the devices before they get out on the floor. And it also is a cost-saving feature in materials. We won't use materials for them to continue to do things wrong after one thing after another.
Yeah.
And we can teach them, show them the areas that they need to work on, and you'll get a good demonstration here in just a minute.
All right.
This is our virtual welder, Winston, and it's like Mr. H told you. It's going to allow us to really give the students some quick hands-on experience without the waste of material. Also, it's something that'll give them immediate feedback. I've got 30 plus students out there in the shop. It's difficult for me to, I get a student started in a booth. I may not get back to him that day. So he's sitting there for 5 hours doing things wrong. Whereas those basic muscle memory skills that he needs to develop, arc length, angles, bead travel or bead formation travel, this is going to let him do it. And as you'll see, as we do this, he'll get immediate feedback, as to, what he's doing. Now then, this is going to be his first time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So who's behind the mask? Who's got there?
This is Philip Strickland. He's he's the paraprofessional in here.
All right, Philip.
So he's the one that helps me keep them straight.
Okay.
All right. Go, Philip.
All right.
Stick it down and just drag it across. All right, now as you see, he's not generating any smoke, any fumes or anything. But if you look up here, you can see what he's seeing through the welding unit.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. So it's just, everything he's doing there is just showing up.
Yeah. Now you notice this is a little aid here. When it turns green, that's the proper arc length. Whenever he has it there, when it's touching that center line.
So the H means what now?
That H is that's just a guide for his arc length.
Okay.
That's how far the rod is off the metal.
Very good.
Okay, now then, when he gets through, we can clean the weld off, clean the slag off of it. We can rotate it, we can turn it down, and we can see he's a first-time welder. Now then, we can also, how he'll get the feedback. Okay, he scored an 85 on it.
At 85?
Yeah. Here we have different things, that we look at. We have the position. He had scored a 75. Now what the position is, he's had the same amount of metal on both plates. He had too much on his top plate there. Arc length, 71. That's where he kept pulling the arc.
So all those are broken down in there.
All those are broken down.
I see.
And what we can do, we can actually isolate them. Okay, now we have a line here in the center. That's the center mark where you want everything to go. Okay, the position. We can highlight it, and you can see he was all over, and then it correlates with the weld underneath. See here, he was too low. You can see that very distinctly. Here he was too high. You can see that also. You know, here he had places where he bumped up and down with it.
Yeah.
Okay, now then, we want to highlight something else on his arc length. You see he was all over the place with his arc length. You know, he's too low at times. That's where he just had it jammed in the puddle. Too high at other times. His working angle, he did good on his work angle. That's the way that he's keeping the rod in relation to the plate. Needs to be at a 45-degree angle. You see he pretty much stayed right on that. He did the same thing with his travel angle. So he stayed pretty close on the travel angle. Then his travel speed. You got a little fast with it at times. And you can see this speed should have been very symmetric all the way, you know, a real smooth line, you know, on top and bottom. You see he's a little bit off with it, but overall, you know, not bad. Now then, that's what I'm talking about. It can give immediate feedback. Rather than him sitting there doing the same thing over and over, he can look at this and say, you know, I need to change, you know, my arc length. I need to work on that. Wow. You know, with it. And then we have the teacher aids that go along with it. Now this circle here, we've got our arc length that will be showing. This circle, we want to get it right on the square, right on the cross. That bullseye circle, we want it right on the cross. When he moves where he's got his arc length and travel angle correct, that will get in place. It's the arc length.
So you can talk to them while they're doing it. I mean,
yeah, I can talk to him while he's doing it. See, your arc length, got to keep it in there.
You can hear the difference in sound.
Yeah, see, when it gets too long, you can hear the difference. And that's how it'll actually sound if you're welding. Now then, you'll notice we can turn this and see the weld a little better.
Okay.
You see, he didn't do quite as good with his bead formation and stuff there. We'll see what kind of grade he made though. 73, see a little bit worse there.
A 73.
His arc length, he struggled keeping his arc length there, and then the position, you know, he was all over the place with that. Now then, what would happen out there in the shop? I sit there, I watched a student do it one time. I've got 30 other students I've got to go check on. I may not get back to that student that day, so he's sitting there not getting any feedback whenever he really needs it to start with. With this, he's going to develop that arc length control. He's going to develop the muscle memory of keeping the angles correct, you know, watching the sound, watching the arc length. And, you know, we really feel like it's going to knock a significant amount of time off of their shop, you know, the time that they're actually there. They will not actually learn how to weld on this. You still got to spend time burning rods and melting metal together. But we really feel like that it's going to give them an extra tool to really enhance their learning.
Eric, would you do this on a beginning student, or would they be here a while? Or?
Well, the thing about it, I can do it with beginning students. And then also as they progress through, these are all the different things that we can teach. We teach flat plate, which my beginning students will start. After they get where they can master on a flat plate and, you know, get a certain grade consistently, which will be a 90.
Folks, this looks so easy, even a coach can do it. So Eric's going to guide me along. I'm going to give it a try now. It looks like fun. Okay, here we go. All right, I got my... Okay, so all clear.
Okay, now let's get your angle up higher.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
Can you use one hand?
Yeah, you can use one or two. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Keep your arc length in. Slow down some. You're going way too fast. Okay, there you go. Watch that metal fill out on both plates.
I'll keep you recording.
That's another thing you gotta master.
That's it. All right.
All right.
Good job, Winston.
Well, it's not smoking. We're gonna check it out. See how we did. All right. Thank you. That's cool. I can see where if you got used to that, that would be a great tool. See, that's what.
All right, now we can see your well there, Winston.
All right. This is my rookie well.
You had part of it doing okay. You got a little fast there. Yeah.
That was just beginning right there on the left. Now I'm just starting.
All right, are we gonna see what your grade is?
Yeah, let's see what my grade is.
81.
81. That's a B. That's a B in my school.
Pretty good.
All right, the only thing, your travel speed was off, and your arc length, you kept going in and out.
You told me, that's the true thing you told me. My travel speed, I had to slow down, which I always get the rush.
Your work angle, you kept both your angles in real good.
Cool.
Shape there. You kept it at about 45, travel angle about 15 degrees. Excellent.
That was fun. That was fun.
You ready to
That's
go
cool.
try it real?
How can they get in this class? How can they sign up?
Well, come out here. We'll have our next semester starting in January. They need to come in December. I'm not sure the enrollment date, but
Okay.
come. Call first. Find out all the material they need to bring.
Okay.
Show up and register for the program.
All right. Sounds
Last
good.
year we had a 97% placement rate, job placement rate.
That's excellent. 97% excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Good job.